Today I'm on set taking pictures for a real client, and I thought this would be the perfect time to show you how to style fresh ingredients, even the most unattractive ingredients. So this is a skincare brand, and I have my collection of ingredients here. We have pumpkin, ginger, and cinnamon sticks. So let me bring you guys on in closer. Let's go over the styling, break down the lighting, and show you the final results. So I have to be very careful not to hit this and shift the whole scene around, but let's start with styling. So for the pumpkin, the client said that she doesn't like the way that whole pumpkins look. It feels a little too fall. So we needed to find a way to showcase pumpkin without being too pumpkin-y. So the way I did that was I took the pumpkin, the top of it, which I thought could be really cute. I tried it in another picture earlier. And B, I actually took pumpkin shavings, and that was, I thought, a creative way of showcasing it. We also have pumpkin seeds in case I wanted to go that route. And then for ginger, we have whole ginger, and I also have sliced ginger for a smaller, more dainty look. And then for cinnamon, we have cinnamon sticks. So let's get into it. The thing about this shot is I'm gonna wanna do a texture swatch in here. So I'm thinking the texture swatch is gonna be here, so kind of like a swooping motion, which means the ingredients can't be on this side. Also, wouldn't really want the ingredients in this shaded part here, because then they would just not look very appealing. However, when we put the ingredients on this side, if I put it too close to the front, as you see with my finger, it covers the label, it puts a shadow on it. So we have to be mindful of that as well. So how do we style this? Let's start with the little dudes. So we have some sliced ginger, which I think could be really nice in the front because it has a smaller profile. So if we stack it, probably the inverse of that, then it shouldn't cast any terrible shadows on the bottle. Alternatively, I could put pumpkin shavings there. Let's start with that little bit. Cool, and that's nice. And if you notice the way I styled this, it kind of goes a little further than the product, which is great because now I can start layering the ingredients here and kind of making them wrap around the back side of the product. I don't want them to all be in the front because then it's going to make a very flat scene. I want to make sure we're having depth in here. So ingredients in the front and ingredients in the back. So now I have this spoon that I want to be situated inside of this, but I don't want it to fall straight down because it will. It's very thin, and the product is not thick. It's really runny. So if I just set this in here, it's gonna slowly disappear. So this is my helping hands tool. And this is how I make products look like they are floating. See, the trick though is that I need it to be maybe hitting the light. Yeah, from that side, okay. Okay. It's actually staying in there better than I thought it would. Okay, don't totally hate that. Let's roll with it until the spoon decides to sink below the surface. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is add a texture swatch right here. So I'm going to move this temporarily. I'm going to want this to go in the light and then into the dark. So let's do it. Actually don't love it. So, and the reason I put this acrylic sheet down over my stone tile is because I knew that I would be playing with texture, and I mean, look at how easy that is to wipe up. If that was on my stone tile that's underneath this, we'd be screwed. And you know, honestly, this texture might look better if it was bubbled out. So instead of a swatch, we're just going to commit to another style. I have a couple different tools that I can use to move and manipulate this. So let's start with, this is a nail tool, but because it's silicone, it works really well for things like this. So I've restyled this shot. We're using a white backdrop, and I'm just creating another variation for the client. And this time I'm gonna do droplets. This dropper is from a serum. I think it was an Ordinary bottle. I really love their droppers. If you're looking for a good dropper for product photography, honestly, just buy one of their products. They're really cheap, like $8. And if you're not into skincare yourself, dump it and keep the little dropper. Because honestly, if you buy a pack of droppers, you're gonna be spending $8 and they won't be as nice as the Ordinaries. So, fun fact. So styling is only one part of photography. If you want to learn how to land your first client or even your next client, then click the link in the description and join our free photography community where we give away free classes, free resources, just to help you guys succeed. Again, link is in the description. So for the lighting in the shot, I'm using one light and a bounce board to kind of add some light in the back side of the scene because it's a bit dark, because naturally the light is coming from one direction, not the other direction. So we're going to have some gradient there. And the white bounce board just helps to, again, bounce the light that's going this way back into the scene to fill in some of those dark shadows. But I am going to do another version of this same styled shot, and I'm going to do it with a harsh light, not diffused at all. And this is going to give me some pretty harsh shadows, but alternatively, it could also lead to some bad reflections on this silver bits, so we will just have to test that out and see. And now I'm just gonna bounce some light on the back side. Try a bit on the front side. There we go. So we always tether our laptop to the camera so we can see everything in real time. So this is just a rundown of all of the different images that I captured, the different style options, different lighting options. I don't always capture a variety for clients to choose from, but this one was a special case, which is why we went out of our way to do so many different styling techniques.